Okay, today we are going to talk about one-step inequalities. Our learning target we will be able to substitute a variable in an inequality and solve. It is similar to solving an equation. And if you are multiplying or dividing by a negative number, the symbol flips. This is super important to remember. So here we have our first inequality symbol, and it says less than, fewer than, or lower than. So this is our less than symbol. And these are some keywords that you would find in a word problem that lets you know that that's the inequality symbol that you would be using. So if we have x is less than 2, I'm going to plug 2 back in for x to show you that 2 is not less than 2. Therefore, we have in what we call open circle, and we put our circles on the number that is in our inequality. So it's an open at 2 because our inequality does not hold true for 2. It holds true for everything less than 2. And then we are going to highlight, and if you have a pencil, you're going to do shading, pointing our arrow to the left. So if I were to rewrite this inequality as x is less than 2 and make that into an arrow, it's pointing to the left. Then we have greater than, more than, or higher. So again, if I were to plug in 2, just to verify, is 2 greater? And the answer is no. Therefore, it is an open circle because our inequality does not involve 2. And then if I were to make this into an arrow, it would be pointing to the right. So again, I went to shade or highlight on my number line to the right, saying that everything greater than 2 is a solution to x is greater than 2. Then we have less than or equal to, at most, or no more than. So again, I'm going to plug in 2 to this inequality. Is 2 less than or equal to 2? And the answer is yes, it is. When our answer is yes, we have a closed circle. So I go to the 2 on my number line, and it's a closed circle because that 2 is a solution. It is equal to it. And then my inequality symbol is pointing to the left. Therefore, I shade to the left. Greater than or equal to, at least, and no less than. So here I have 2 is greater than or equal to 2, and the answer is yes, it is equal to. Therefore, since 2 is a solution to this inequality, I have a closed circle at 2, and my inequality symbol is pointing to the right, and so I am highlighting to the right. If you are writing this on notebook paper, I would press pause and take the time to make sure you write all of these down. Here, I'm going to highlight the important parts. So the arrow will only point in the direction of the graph if the variable is on the left-handed side of the inequality. Okay, so if the variable is on the right side, you can put it on the left-handed side by reversing the inequality. And then here's our example. 14 is less than x can be switched to x is greater than 14. So this is like, I know you learn inequalities in elementary school, and it talks about the alligator. Right here, the alligator is eating the x. So when I switch the sides of my variable and number, here the alligator is still eating the x. So I didn't change my value by switching them because I switched not only my sign, but I switched which side the numbers and variables lie on. So what I highlighted is super important to make sure you have written down. And then when you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative number, the inequality reverses. So this is also important to write. And then there's your example. If we have negative 2x is greater than or equal to 14, my inverse operation would be dividing by negative 2. Therefore, since I'm dividing by negative 2, I would flip my symbol. So if you look, I started with a greater than or equal to symbol, and I ended with a less than or equal to symbol. So go ahead and press pause and make sure you get all of this down, and whenever you have it, press play. Okay, so this is, again, just number line work. So if we look here, x is less than or equal to. When I have the or equal to is when I have a closed circle, and it is pointing to the left. So I go to my number 4, and I draw a closed circle, and then I highlight to the left. And then here, x is greater than or equal to negative 2.5. So again, or equal to. So if I plugged in negative 2.5 is greater than or equal to negative 2.5, that is true. Therefore, it is a closed circle, and my inequality of greater than or equal to is pointing to the right. Therefore, I'm going to shade to the right. So negative 2.5 is right here. And then I highlight to the right. I want you to try number 3 on your own. Press play when you have everything completed. Okay, so 8 is not less than 8, so therefore it's an open circle highlighted to the left. And then number 4, go ahead and try this one again on your own and press play when you have finished. Okay, so here 7 is not less than 7, so 7 is not a solution. Therefore, it's an open circle at 7 pointed to the left.